Thank you.
You're welcome. I love that you have it. Oh, welcome everybody. It is Friday. For all you writers out there, we have a special treat, and Joanie's about to announce it. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, and every Friday I go live with our
Thank you.
superstar author,
You're welcome. I
Joanie
love that.
Lindenmeyer,
Oh,
and
welcome
she,
everybody.
yay, technology. So anyway, Echoes, we are here because we have a powerful message for you today. For many months, we've been going live every Friday to share everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote an amazing book. So, Joanie, what's the topic today?
Well, we are going to climb a mountain. We are going to climb a mountain. So I hope you have your props ready to go. We've
Ah,
got to have our sunglasses because it's going to be pretty darn sunny up there. You got to have
okay.
a hat to make sure that you're good to go for every step you take.
All
And for
right.
some of us, we need a walking stick. So make
Okay.
sure you have a walking stick.
All
So
right.
together, we're going to go through 15 of Joni's steps to climb the mountain, to steps for writing and publishing your book. Now, if I
Okay.
had a theme song to go with this, Elizabeth, today, of course, None Better would be the influence. And so it would be Julie Andrews singing in The Sound of Music, Climb Every Mountain. And if you
Nice.
can play that in your head, everybody, I'm not going to sing it, but play it in your head as we're journeying on our mountain trip today. So,
Okay.
pens and papers ready, laptops or whatever you write things with. And I need to take this off because I am indoors so I can see my 15 steps. And
Okay,
Elizabeth,
just for
please comment as we go.
Okay, just some context, everybody. If you're new here, I am co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. We've published about 50 books in 8 years since we co-founded the company with my sister, Catherine Greenspan. Joanie came to us about 2 years ago, and I coached her to write her book, Nun Better, which became a bestseller. And so now she and I are writing two books together, one of which comes out in June called Joyously Free, Living Your Truth as LGBTQ plus people, parents, and allies. And the second one is Living Stories and Tips to Help You Live Your Truth. Sorry. And then in October, we have Healing Religious Hurts, which is stories and tips to find love and peace, which is about healing religious hurts. So Joanie is now, she's gone from 0 to 100 in 2 years, no books to, and she was a former Catholic nun who was a physical education teacher as her career. So now she's a published author and is so excited to share all the things she's learned on this fast, awesome journey. Okay, Joni, it's all yours.
Yes, and it has been climbing a mountain ever since. And you're going to get to the top, everybody. I guarantee it. So here are some steps, and we'll discuss as we go along. And again, they're my version, my version. So probably Elizabeth would have her own steps for writing and publishing her book. This is the simple version from the Joni style. So the first one is, you're smiling already. Oh boy.
Hilarious. Love it.
She's like going, "Oh my gosh, what's Joni gonna say?" Okay, number one, accept the call. Acknowledge this feeling that you have in your brain or your gut to write this book. Just accept it. It's there for a reason. So accept that call. And you're going to talk to many people that have written books, and I hope you do, because that will enhance what that means to you. So accept that call, acknowledge that feeling to write that book. Elizabeth, what would you add to that?
Well, yeah, I always say that a calling to write a book is not about you, it's about all the people your book is going to reach. So you have to overcome your own fear, and like that's a great word, acknowledge it because it's there. Or people might be telling you you should write a book. And people told my mother that for decades. She finally wrote the book. Then they're like, you should make a movie. So now we have a screenplay that'll soon be shopped to Hollywood for The Triumph of Rosemary, a memoir by Judge Marilyn E. Atkins. Great point, Joni.
Oh my gosh. And to sit in the theater and be able to watch this movie about your mom and your mom's story, and oh my gollies,
Yeah.
I've got my popcorn ready. I've got my popcorn ready. Okay, next one. Step number 2. I say, get help from someone who has done it. So find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody who has done this. And whether you do that online or you go to a book event, or I had never been to a book reading. I had never met an author before in my life, but somehow Elizabeth and Catherine came into my life as a God thing, I think. But to find that person who can coach you, yay, 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 Elizabeth, yay, yay, yay,
Thank you,
yay.
Joanie.
Yeah, mentoring to Catherine, and I mean, just everybody, but find person or people that have done it so that you are like going through a minefield. And the best way to go through a minefield is to follow the person who's already been through it. That way you're not going to step on other things and explode. Find
Yes.
somebody who has done it, which means grab that walking stick. Remember, this is one step at a time,
Hmm.
and just follow somebody who has done it. All right.
Yes.
Your opinion. Do you agree with that?
Well, yeah, that's why I became a book coach, and I have a 6 months to books best-selling book success program at twosisterswriting.com where I guide people either privately or in a group setting to write a book in 6 months. I teach everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote the book, and that's what Joanie got started on. And she actually wrote her book in 5 months, and she wrote 500 pages, and we had to edit it down to 300. So
Yes.
getting help will save you time, energy, money, because if you just sit down and start writing, it's like leaving your house to a new destination with no GPS. You're going to get lost. You're going to waste time, money, gas. You might run out of gas and just get stuck and never get unstuck. So, a guide, walking sticks remind me of having a guide, and that's an
Yes.
experienced guide who is going to also be your
Yes.
cheerleader to
Yes.
give you that encouragement that you need on this new journey.
Right. Right. And that is so well said. That is so well said. Three words you use all the time, Elizabeth, and I just constantly get reminded of this: write, publish, and promote. Elizabeth just rattles those off like they're nothing. Well, they're big to me. Each word is big. And that leads to step number 3. Get to the writing. Start writing. Start writing. Create an outline. That was the kicker. Create an outline. That's your roadmap. That's your trail. That's how you follow where you're going. And so you create that outline, you follow it, and you do it, and you just start writing. You don't have to worry about anything else. You just take the one step and the next step and the next step, the next sentence, the next paragraph. You just start writing.
Yes, so that's probably the most important point here because you have to finish the book. You can't publish the book if you don't finish the book. And in our busy world with so many distractions, it's very easy to not finish. It's hard to find the time until you're really obsessed with writing that book. And then you will sit down, you will make the sacrifice to not hang out over the weekend and to not stay up late and to really commit the time and energy required. And it always takes more than you think. So that's why most people never finish their book. It's just so easy to say, oh, this happened and this happened. And, you know, um, that was my phone emphasizing that point. So you got to
And
write the
you're
book.
leading right into, amazing how this works, isn't it? You're leading right into number 4. Okay. That's don't quit. Smell the roses along your journey.
I love
Don't
it.
quit.
I
Don't
love it.
quit. Okay,
Yes.
get that, everybody. Number 4, write it really big. Don't quit. Just
Yes.
keep writing. There's going to be flowers along the way. There's going to be weeds along the way. There's going to be mud along the way. They're going to be stepping into ground you've never stepped on before. But you know what? Don't quit. You can see the mountain. You know where you're going. You know
Hmm.
where you're going, and you can do this. So don't quit.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so Joni just held up beautiful yellow roses from her rose garden, which was a commemorative memorial garden for Carol, who died in 2022 before Joni wrote the book. And the flowers are just gorgeous. I totally agree. There's a saying out there that the journey is the destination. And of course, publishing your book is the destination, but metaphorically, the journey of writing a book can be long and difficult and scary and stay in the moment because the triumphant moments of, wow, I just wrote 10 pages in a day, or wow, I wrote my book, I finished, or wow, I made an outline and now I have clarity. Those moments are phenomenal. So celebrate them as they come.
Yep. Yep. You're leading into number 5. Oh,
Yay.
my walking stick just fell. Oh well. Number 5. Number 5. Believe. Believe that you can do this. Believe you can climb this mountain. Believe that your writing will make a difference. Believe in you. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Just believe in you with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. Believe.
Yes, Joanie. Wow. So that is so powerful because in our book, Joyously Free, which comes out June 1st for Pride 2024, I wrote things that I've never expressed before to people or to, especially in a book. And I really just sat down and just believed that my message would just pour out of me organically, and it did. And it was magical, and it's going to help
Yep.
people.
Yep. And when I wrote None Better, it was the same thing. It was like Jesus kept telling me, tell them more stories, tell them more stories. And the more I told the stories, the more I believed in the stories that could help other people.
Yeah.
So it took it off of me and gave it to the world. And it's just that belief. It's just that
Yeah.
belief.
Yes.
Yeah, super.
Awesome.
And thank you, Elizabeth, for doing that in Joyously Free. When everybody gets a chance to read it and they'll read your part that has a lot of beautiful things that you said about
Thank
you
you.
and your experiences and your life. Oh my gosh, just know everybody, it came from her heart of hearts, deep down
Thank
or
you.
up top, or however you want to describe your heart.
Thanks,
Okay, you
Joanie.
ready? Number 6?
Yes.
It's a repeat, but it's a good one. Keep writing.
Ah.
You started to write, but you got to keep writing,
Yes.
because distractions happen and you might have
Mhm.
a boulder in your way. You might have a blister on your foot. Again, I'm correlating this all with hiking on a mountain. Things
Right.
are going to happen. Things are going
Right.
to happen. And it's like you got to keep going. I ended up having knee surgery in the middle of writing None Better. I
Mhm.
kept going. Okay.
Mhm.
I kept going. I know Elizabeth has had things happen in life. That's life. But you know
Right.
what? You keep writing, because those things that you experience or have happened, they can probably end up in the book, or they bolster this energy within you to make sure that you're sticking with your game plan, sticking with your outline. So keep
Yeah.
writing. That was number 6.
Yep.
You want to add
Well,
anything, Elizabeth?
you also had hand surgery, and you made sure you
Oh
finished
yeah.
all your chapters for Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts before you had the surgery because it disabled your ability to write for some months or weeks at
Right.
least.
Right. 2 surgeries in 2 years. I'm done with that stuff. No more. No more. No
Yeah.
more. Yeah. And you, have you had those kind of experiences too? Distractions along the way when you're writing?
Well, yeah, and it's not always a specific event. It can be stress. So, for example, when I was going through a horrible divorce, there were times when I was too stressed to write because I was so focused on the things I had to do to get through the divorce, and my brain just, I couldn't focus. I would sit at the
Mm-hmm.
screen and it would be like it was moving almost. It was so you have to do self-care and get through those stressful moments. But in the course of publishing books for people, we've had people have major delays in the process. For example, one had a surprise baby, and their baby actually ended up being on the cover of the book with them. So
Oh,
they had to take like a year off. That was amazing. Um, so we've had people get sick, or they have a family member who's ill, or they suddenly have to move jobs and move cities. So yeah, that just happens, but they always come back to it, partly because they've
right.
committed to writing and publishing with us, but really
Yeah.
important to stay the course.
Wow, that's an amazing story. That's an amazing story. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, quick review. We're halfway there almost. So 1 was accept the call. 2, get help from somebody who's done it before, a coach or mentor. Start writing, number 3. 4, don't quit. 5, believe. 6, keep writing. Number
Mhm.
7, one of my favorites, flex mode. Be flexible when you're writing, because all of a sudden you may be thinking you're going to be writing one thing and your magic fingers end up typing something else. And so
Oh,
it's that
right.
flex mode. It's that connecting with a spirit. It's open to new ideas and new thoughts that come from wherever they come. And all
Mhm.
of a sudden you're like, well, where am I going with this? But be flexible. Relax about that. Be flexible. You're all good. You're all good. You
Mhm.
know, it's not just black and white. You're gonna go on these little tangents or whatever. As I used to tell Elizabeth when I was writing None Better, I felt like a chicken scratching and moving to different parts of the field, but you can be flexible. And same thing when you hike. You have to be flexible. You have to consider the elements, and all of a sudden maybe you get a downpour of rain, or maybe your shoe becomes untied, or maybe you've got to stop and have a nutritional snack or something. But be flexible. Elizabeth, please add.
Well, I've been flexible in composing my chapters for Joyously Free, and just going with the flow of this idea that comes. So I might have sat down thinking, oh, I'm going to write about this, but then something else pours out, but I trust that process. So flexibility is hugely important. And also with your time, there can be things like um, the power might go out, or so you need to go to the coffee shop to write for the afternoon, or something in your house needs repair, so you have to take the afternoon off while the repair person comes, etc. So you just have
Yeah,
to flow with it, but find ways to keep working, like take your laptop to the coffee shop, or sit while they're doing the repair and keep working on your computer, or you're writing a notebook. Just be flexible. Or you might get sick and have to go to the doctor unexpectedly, and you can still write on your phone. Just jot ideas down into the audio thing on your phone and just, talk your idea out.
good idea.
So just don't stop. Keep that momentum going.
Good idea. Good idea. Woo-hoo, I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it. Okay, numero eight. Numero eight. Stay positive. Stay positive. And
Mhm.
and and my version for this is my blood type is B positive, and that's my attitude about life.
I
So it's
love
it's
it.
in my blood, and it's just all over. Be positive, because the
Oh,
more that you're positive, the more things will flow, and the more open you will be to everything around you, and you're just going to be a happier person in this process, because it's not an easy thing. It is
right.
not an easy thing. It can be very joyful and very exhilarating and very exciting, all this writing, all this time, all this energy, but stay positive. Stay positive.
So that can require action to take courage to take action on certain things. Like if you have to obtain a permission that's giving you anxiety, like if you're quoting somebody else's book and you need to contact their publisher to get written permission to reprint copyrighted material that's their intellectual property. So sometimes being positive can be deterred by anxiety of steps that might scare you, or maybe you mentioned somebody in your book and you need to tell them and say, are you okay with this? Et cetera. Or maybe talk to a lawyer to make sure you're not writing anything incriminating that could get you in trouble when you publish. But also staying positive gets down to self-talk. What are you telling yourself in the moment? If you tell yourself, oh, I can't do this. This is so hard. I'm never going to finish. Nobody's going to read this. Who am I to write a book? No, you have to literally write down some new dialogue to tell yourself in your head, no matter how hard it gets. So you say, yes, I can do this. I was given this mission, this idea, this calling for a reason, and I'm going to get it done. Yes, I can do this. Everything always works out better than I ever imagined, and I trust that I can make this
Yes.
happen. I say that all the time and it comes true. You say, everything always works out way better than I ever imagined, and you trust it, and you just wait to see what happens, and you will be amazed. Worrying is using your imagination in the wrong direction because you're just imagining worst case scenarios. Believing and visualizing is using your imagination in a way that helps you manifest what you want. So dwell on what you want and speak it, as Joanie said, by staying positive. Literally say it out loud and write it in your journal, or write it in a note and put it on your computer or your desk or your mirror or whatever. Yeah, you can
Yep.
stay positive, but it takes work.
You bet. You bet. And in all the books I'm writing, my favorite saying, which came from Carol and I, but it's my saying as well, It's a brand new day, never been lived before. And if you repeat a mantra like mine or whatever you have in your own mind that keeps you on that stay positiveness, find that mantra. And I love how Elizabeth just said self-talk. So important, so important, so
Mhm.
important. All righty. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 9. Number 9, explore publishing options.
Great point.
Explore publishing options. And there are several, and I know Elizabeth and I have done a podcast on this as well, where she talked about the hybrid this and the this and the that and the this and the that. And I don't remember all the titles and whatever. All I know is that when I made the decision with Two Sisters Writing, I had all 3 things come: writing, publishing, and promoting. And to me, that was a 3 for all. That was a
Mhm.
trifecta. That was a trinity. That was the way to go, and so that's what I chose. But explore how you want to publish it, how you want to publish it. Your turn, Elizabeth.
Yeah, so a lot of people are so mystified by publishing. They don't know how to do it or how to start or which is the best option for them. So I actually do, during the 6-month program, I have a whole session on publishing options, and there are 3 main ones. One is self-publishing, which you can do yourself on Amazon. It's super easy. The other one is going to the big traditional publishers in New York, which is most people's goal and desire. However, it's very difficult to get published. There's limited space, and unless you're a celebrity or have some kind of wild expose about something in the news, or you have a huge social media following, you're not going to be an attractive investment for them or for a literary agent to take your book and represent you, to shop you, because they don't accept unsolicited manuscripts. And if you just mail your manuscript to or email it or something to Simon and Schuster, it won't get read. So you have to know what you're up against and what's the best option for you. That's why we started our company, which is a hybrid publishing company. Two Sisters Writing and Publishing is a boutique one-stop shop where people pay us to provide all the services to publish their book on a global platform that gets it into Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Apple Books, and 40,000 online retailers around the world. So you
Yes.
can learn more at
Yes.
twosisterswriting.com.
Yes. And when you say the word boutique, I love it. I have not always been a great shopper for clothes or anything, but thank goodness I've had Carol and I've had Gail. And so when I go into a place, it's like, oh yes, I can get my underwear, I can get my socks, I can get everything in the
Uh-huh.
one store. I love that. I love that. It just helps me a whole bunch. It's like, Gail, what do you think of this? Gail, what do you think of that? Oh, Joanie, try this on or do this or this, and you can
Uh-huh.
match it. So there's the boutique. There's the boutique.
Yes.
Two Sisters Writing. Two Sisters
Thank you.
Writing.
So
Okay,
also by
number.
that, it's also a personal relationship because our authors are with us for the duration of their book, which is forever, which means their lifetime. And if they pass, then their children or whoever their heirs might be who take over their estate will interact with us. So that's why we're very selective on who we work with, because it becomes a long-term relationship, and we manage the books and do the royalties quarterly. So there's trust there, and there's you just want to have a really positive, good working vibe, which is, so wherever you go with your book, make sure you vibe with whoever's publishing it, because it's not a one and done. It's a long-term experience.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Thanks.
Good point. Yep. Okay, number 10. This is sort of where we have been lately and joyously free is the editing and the proofing and the eagle eye. So once you've written everything, have somebody else or a team or whomever it is to proof it and edit it, because it's not just your eyeballs that are seeing things, it's many people's eyeballs that will help make it just perfecto mundo, to make it
Mhm.
perfecto mundo. So you want to seek the help to proof it and to edit it.
Yes.
Oh boy,
And
this is a biggie.
it's huge because you could write, well, first of all, you've seen it, read it, wrote it so many times that you become unable to notice any double meanings, redundancies, things that are unclear. They're clear to you when you wrote it, but to the reader, it's like, what does this say?
Oh
Or
yes.
and also having two things about selecting people to read. First, if they're friends and family, they might have some kind of bias or agenda for you of what they think is best for you to publish. It's not their decision. So if you put it in the hands of somebody who has strong opinions about what you should or shouldn't be saying, you're going to be entering a hornet's nest because it's complicated. You want to honor what they're saying, but you completely disagree and you're going to publish anyway. So be careful. There are also haters in our midst. There could be frenemies who are jealous and don't want you to succeed and might steer you wrong as a result. Sorry to say that, but there are people, but you know who those people are. So select accordingly. Preferably, you're going to have people proofread and edit your book who are professionals or at least are really, really skillful and objective in their grammar, punctuation, and comprehension of writing and reading. So be blessed with, don't settle with anybody who's other than that. Um, and third, if you have sensitive subject matter, such as Joyously Free is about LGBTQ plus topics, you want somebody who has some insights. So if there's any word or phrase or anything written in a way that might rub someone wrong, they have an eye because we may have expressed something in a way that is all good intentions, but to another reader, it could say something else. So we want to make
Exactly.
sure that whoever's proofreading our content um, has a sensitive eye for the messaging.
Good idea. Good idea. Oh, I love it. I love it. Eagle eye, sensitive eye. Yes. And I think of Sally and Leah, my number one and number two editors, and oh my gosh, they had all the good qualities of being that sensitive eye.
Hmm.
Yes. Good points. Good points, Elizabeth. Okay, you are sort of rolling along here with this today. Okay, number 11, keep believing. You're getting to the top of the mountain. Just keep believing, and,
Yes.
and it comes back to that self-talk. I don't think we need to say a whole lot about that, but it's just keep believing. That, to me,
Hmm.
it's an important step.
Hmm.
Number 12, design and form and create the covers and the formatting. So design your cover. What do you want on that cover? What do you want on the inside? And this is a real fun, creative part to do all this. And it's different than the writing, but yet it's still so artistic and so creative. And
Hmm.
so throw out your colors and your visions of what you want as symbols, not just words, in your book.
Hmm.
Your
I
turn,
love that.
Elizabeth.
So, yeah. So there's None Better behind you. Do you have your Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts covers handy?
Sure.
So look at Joyously Free. Joanie had a vision, a dream, and then we collaborated with our with Deborah Purdue of Illumination Graphics, and her sister Gail contributed as well. And Catherine and our Sean Smith, our SEO person, and multiple eyes, teamwork.
Yes.
And so we finally came up with this, and I found that bursting color scope on
Yeah.
the photo subscription that we use, and it just all came together. But look at that cover. It's bursting colors, rainbow colors, which of course are the gay pride colors, and then joyously free, giant words, beautiful script, and then, I
With an
love the rain.
exclamation mark. Woohoo!
Yes, 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 yes. It's just happy. It's a beautiful cover and it's our vision. And likewise with None Better, um, Joni had that there's two nuns and it's colorful and it's happy and it's really expressive of her. And again, it was a collaborative effort by multiple people sharing insights. And it's her, she's happy with it and it conveys the messaging
Oh,
in the book. And then do you have
yes,
healing religious hurts? Okay. So we wanted purple and gold. Those are very regal colors, very religious-ish colors. And the
spiritual.
script is spiritual. Thank you. The script is just is with the vibe of the messaging. It's like peace inducing, happy to read, and it's very clear. And the sparkles, that's what spirit looks like, is energy pulsing through us in the universe and through our bodies. So it just conveys the messaging of the book. Thanks, Joni. And then
Yes,
my
thank you.
next book, you're welcome. The Bis Tribe
Woo,
where you activate your goddess power, which is coming out for July 11th, my birthday. Um,
woo.
the branding for Goddess, which is inspired by the Goddess Power Show, which is my podcast, is leopard print, sparkly, purple haze, and then there's a castle. And this book actually takes place going up a mountain. It's about a story of ascending. So it's wild that you picked up on that, Joanie.
Oh,
But this cover, when I first saw it from our graphic designer, I was just overjoyed. I started crying because it's a series. It's one, both this is book one, and it made me so happy. It's exactly what I wanted. And I just look at it with such pride and joy. And I want the reader
nice.
to do the same. They're going to be like, wow, what's this sparkly animal print and purple? And
Yeah.
why is there a castle? And so just it should evoke, you know, mystique and excitement
Yes.
and curiosity. So awesome point, Joni.
Yes. I think when I read that book of yours, I think I'll put on my leopard top.
That's the
And the
goal.
same with this one. When I actually see the book in hand, I'm gonna have my colorful top on, or maybe
Yes.
my crazy rainbow hat or something. But yeah,
Yes.
same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yep, yep. Okay, 13 is how are you going to pay for this? Are you going to not even put it in a book? Are you going to go to the copy machine place and just have them make copies and give it to your family? Or how are you going to pay for it? But there is some money involved. And so you need to talk to yourself about that and talk to some people about that of what you want to invest in it. And
Mhm.
and part of the way I look at it is an investment. It's not just an expenditure. It's an investment for the legacy of my life and to my family. It's also probably, if I looked at it as a donation, it's the biggest donation I can ever give to anything or anybody. Some people end up donating their house to the Habitat for Humanity or to a church or something, but this is my way to put it out to the world. But there is a financial cost to it, and you need to consider that, which direction you go, and so be ready for that.
Joni, that's a huge, huge, huge point. Thank you for that. First of all, you need to know what your expenses might be from the beginning because your publishing options are, first of all, going to dictate a large portion of whatever financial investment you make. If you self-publish, you still have to pay a graphic designer. If you work with us, you still have to pay a graphic designer to design your cover and to format the interior of the book, laying out the pages. It's called typesetting in old school publishing language, but it's now just formatting because it's all digital. Photographs, the font, the size of the font, the layout, the any graphics you might have, any extra little things like we have starbursts on our pages, of course, and any extra things like that. You need a professional who's going to do a beautiful job, and that costs money, and you get what you pay for. So you need to trust someone who's really excellent to do that. But then you're going to also have to pay for ordering books because you have to, well, if you self-publish or if you work with us, you have to order books. And if you publish with one of the major publishers, you get an author discount, but you still have to pay for books to have your events. Um, so there's many other things. You may need to pay an editor. You may need to pay a publicist or a social media manager. You may need to purchase promotional materials like Joni has that beautiful banner behind her. And we have postcards, business cards. You can do bookmarks, coffee mugs, t-shirts. Joni has Nun Better t-shirts. The sky's the limit, but you have to decide what you want to spend. And so you need to start budgeting from the time you start writing. Another thing is travel. Joni travels a lot. She's coming here to Michigan for Motor City Pride in June. We're going to have book signings 2 days in a row at Motor City Pride in Hart Plaza. It's going to be amazing. And there's supposed to be, what, 65,000 people there, Joni?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct,
So,
at least.
yeah. So
According to Nick Manning, he's the
yeah,
director of the Metro Detroit Pride.
yeah.
He's a
So
sweetie pie. He's such a sweetie pie.
thanks, Nick.
Yep.
So let's just look at that, Joni, in terms of expenses. There's your traveling,
Yeah, my
airfare,
airfare.
hotel, food, registration for an event, the Pride event, and you're doing many of these around the country.
Yep.
Um, it's
10
your
of them,
time. You're doing what?
10 prides.
Oh my gosh, Joni's doing
Yep.
10 prides. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And I'll be in Ashland, Oregon for Pride then in October. So we're
Yep.
going to have a big celebration there as well. Um, but investment, time, energy, money, travel to a different time zone can be exhausting. Um, having to order the books, investing in paying for books to be shipped to wherever you're going to be. It's a lot. So know that from jump. Know that from the very beginning. And also, a lot of authors like to travel to book festivals, book fairs. So you have to pay a registration fee. You might have to purchase a vendor booth. There's permits and things that are required and insurance. So there's a lot of variables, and you need that guidance from somebody who's experienced to let you know in advance so you're financially prepared. Great point,
Right.
Joni.
Yes, yeah. And if you decide not to publish, even if you want to just make copies for your family, that still is an expenditure,
Yeah,
and so
good
however you
point.
do that, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, are we running out of time? Are we doing
No,
okay?
let's just roll with it.
Okay, cool deal. Let's see. That was number 13, the money part. Okay, number 14. Ooh, 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 ooh. Congratulations. You've done it. You've reached the top. It's like, look at the view. Cry, celebrate. Just get out your bottle of champagne or wine or toast with your glass of milk. But you know what? You've done it. You've done it. And this is the time that you can congratulate yourself for just an incredible, biggest thing you've ever done in your life. That's the way it is for me. And then you say kudos and thank you with your heart of heart to your team and your people that have helped you and believed in you. And then for my end, it's like, God, thank you so much. I can't believe it, but you and I did it. That feeling. Oh my gosh, here I am getting choked up about it, but it is amazing. So you need to congratulate yourself. Really, 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 really celebrate you. Celebrate you. Elizabeth, celebrate you July 11th for your new book on your birthday. Joyously Free, June 1st. Oh my gollies. Oh my gollies. Okay.
So this is so important. The feeling of finishing your book, and if you print it out on your printer and hold it in your hands with the paper still warm from the printer, when you receive your physical book and you hold it in your hands, there is such an exhilaration in that. It's indescribable because it's all you. You did it. No one can take that away from you. You wrote the book, and now it's a physical thing that started with an idea in your head that can now flutter around the world and touch lives, save lives even, in a beautiful way. It's so powerful, but you can't put a price tag on what that feels like. It's not about
Right.
money. It's not about prestige. It's about the personal fulfillment and thrill that you actually achieve something that so many people dream about and never do, and you did it.
Yep. Yep. And I think I heard somewhere, and it might have been you, Elizabeth. It's like the top 1 or 2%. That's what you are when you finish a book. You're in the
Oh,
top 1 or 2%. You
uh,
compare that to professional athletes or professional entertainers, the top 1 or 2%. So you're
mhm.
you're 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 like a Tiger Woods. You're like a Shaquille O'Neal. You're like a Celine Dion or a Mariah Carey or I'm trying to think of really really famous people, but you're in the top 1 and 2%, and
Yeah,
that just when you think about that, it blows you away. It blows you away. And
it does.
yeah, yeah. And that leads to the final point,
Okay.
and that was so well said how you said that. I can't wait to listen to this podcast again and listen to what you said on that one.
Thanks,
So
Joni.
number 15, number 15. All right. You've had your walking stick, you've had your hat on, you've had your glasses, you've reached the top of the mountain. The book is done. And here comes to me the most precious part. You get to share it and spread it to wherever you want to go. Whether you
Yay.
take it to your neighbor, you put it under your pillow and sleep with it, but you get to give it away or
Mhm.
sell it. but you get
Uh-huh.
to share it. You get to admire it. You get to, and here's my big thing. To me, it's not about the money. It's not about anything except touching hearts.
Mm.
That's what I want. Every single book that I'll be doing, 3 books total in 2 years, and you've done a ton. It to me, it's about touching hearts, the changing of the lives, the people that have come out to me, the people that have shared their in-depth, bottom, really deep stories about their life and how precious that is. And so, but it's up to you. Here it is again, number 15. Spread the word about your book. Figure
Yeah.
out how you're going to do that. Spread the word.
Mhm.
Here I come, Detroit. Here I come, Detroit.
So that's such a huge point, Joanie, because a lot of writers are introverts. They don't have a network. And if you don't promote your book, it's not going to sell. And that can lead to depression and disappointment because you have this exhilaration of, oh, I did it, and then nothing. Or after maybe you have a party or launch with your friends and family, and then the world seems to not care. So, Joni, you are an example, and the reason your book has been so successful, and the reason our other books are going to be so successful is because from the very beginning, you got business cards that said, I wrote a book, or no, I'm writing a book. And you emailed and texted and called everybody you know across America and the world and let them know you had zero shyness or self-consciousness. Some people feel that they are boasting and such. It's not that at all. You have
No,
to let
no.
people know. And our most successful authors like you, they start blogging about the book 3 months in advance of its publication, and they send the blog to everybody they know via email once a week. They alert their networks, which can include friends, family, colleagues, alumni associations, clubs, any organization that you're part of. So, for example, if your book is about getting a heart transplant, the American Heart Association, let them know this book is coming. Your alumni associations or any connections you have with where you went to school are huge because they could invite you to speak. They could put your book on their newsletter, website, email blasts, and just they have huge databases of who they communicate with. So you just never know. And also, you can alert the media, you can start setting up events. So you have to just get on that microphone or the proverbial microphone and announce it to the world early. Build your social media. You have to have some kind of social media presence. Joni is on TikTok now, which is so cute, and her videos are awesome. And so
Send
you
it
can
to the Pope. I can't wait to send it to the Pope. I can't wait to send it to the President of the United States, who I got a letter back from on Nun Better. Can you believe that? I got a letter from Joe Biden. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to send it to people. Oh my golly.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, be bold. Be bold. We have some bold ideas for our next books, like Joyously Free and our vision of where we want to promote. So we're going for it. Going for it. We believe and we have the energy and we believe that this is a divinely guided project, both of them, all three of them, and that we're gonna, doors will open and
Yeah.
media spotlights will be shined and that will help people everywhere when they read our books. So
You bet. And it's not
awesome.
an ego trip.
Right.
It's not an ego. I've talked to some other people, and it's not an ego trip at all. It's not about me, me, me. It's about sharing the story or the message or whatever you have written about. That's what it's about. And so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people get in a funk about that,
Mm-hmm.
well, you're being really ego minded. And I go, no, I believe in what these stories can teach and help people with. I believe that. And I think that must have been true for all of the great authors in the world, that's what it was all about, was
Mm-hmm.
sharing artistic ability so that somebody could change and enhance their life. They can
Mm-hmm.
enhance their life. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
live life to the max.
Yes, 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 yes. So that's a great point. There are egotistical authors out there and they think they're all that because they're now an author, but the Bible says the exalted shall be humbled, and the humbled shall be exalted.
Ooh,
I
way to
think I
go,
said it right.
Elizabeth.
I
It sounds good to me. I'm not a biblical repetition person, so
I'm not either, and I'm spiritual, not religious at all. But that message, if you just put it in regular terms, is people who are pompous and arrogant will be humbled, and people who are humble, like us, who are doing things for the right reasons to help people, shall be exalted. And by exalted means celebrated, put in the media spotlight, celebrated, so that the message gets to the people who need it.
yep. Yep. And that just brings me to the final point. And Elizabeth sent me this email one time, and I even copied it and put it on my fridge. And this is what I wish to everybody else. 1,000,000,000 blessings to you.
Oh.
1,000,000,000 blessings to you, to all the authors out there, to the people listening, to Elizabeth, 1,000,000,000 blessings to you. And so
That's awesome. Thanks, Joanie. Thank
you're
you. I
welcome.
wish
You're
that on
welcome.
everybody. Wow,
Yes.
wow, wow. So, this has been phenomenal, Joanie. Thank you for coming up with the topic for today's live broadcast to help all you writers out there write, publish, and promote an amazing book that will inspire you, boost your confidence, and help people everywhere. Joanie, any final words?
Write, publish, and promote. Comes down to those three things.
That's
Thank you,
amazing.
everybody. I know this was a long one today, and hang in there, or you know what? You don't have to watch it all at one time or listen to it all at one time. Go back and watch little excerpts of it. And remember,
Mhm.
you are climbing the mountain. And
Yes.
Elizabeth, thank you for being on the journey with me to climb this mountain. So with our
Yay.
hats and with our glasses and everything else, make sure that you're ready. And I'm ready for the next mountain.
You are so fun, Joanie. Thank you so much. This is awesome. All of you writers out there, we hope this has given you some really, really solid and extensive guidance on how to write, publish, and promote your book that can touch people everywhere. Please go to twosisterswriting.com and learn how I could be your book coach to help you write the book, or your publisher to publish the book that you've already written. Please also go to the bookstore at twosisterswriting.com and pre-order your copies of Joyously Free, as well as Healing Religious Hurts, as well as my next book that I wrote solo, The Bis Tribe, Activating Your Goddess Power. So we wish you happy reading and happy writing, and we'll see you next week.
Big love hugs. Big love hugs.